Islam, this beautiful religion that Allah has blessed us with, what did you do to it? What's your contribution in this globe? What's your contribution to this country? What's your contribution to your neighborhood? What's your contribution to your own direct family? What did you do to Islam? A real man is a man who would give da'wah and call to Islam and does his level best to make this religion a victorious religion, even if he is harmed by his own relatives and people. Even if it leads to his destruction, he has no worries, because at the end we want Jannah. You live 60 years, you live 100 years, your last target is Jannah. So it doesn't matter when you die. But if you live and die for the cause, you will go to Jannah. Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran, a believing man from Pharaoh's people who was hiding his faith argued. He argued with Pharaoh and with his people. Will you kill a man only for saying my Lord is Allah, while he has in fact come to you with clear proofs from your Lord? He's endangering himself only to work for this religion and to spread it, even if it leads to him being dead at the end of the day. So what have I and you done for this religion? أقول هذا القول وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه أجمعين. Manhood, it is a beautiful thing to have, but real men are not measured by how huge and big their bodies are or how handsome they look. Real manhood in Islam is measured by what's in your heart. If it's filled with Iman, if it's filled with commitment to Islam. Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, he says once the Prophet ﷺ ordered Abdullah ibn Mas'ud to climb up a tree and fetch him something. So he did. And the moment he was on top of the tree, the companions fell on their backs laughing. So the Prophet ﷺ, why are you laughing? And Abdullah ibn Mas'ud was a very, very thin, skinny man, very small in size. And they said, "O Prophet of Allah, look at how thin his legs are. They're like a miswak. So funny." The Prophet said, "By Allah, his thin legs are heavier at the scale with Allah than Mount Uhud." This is how we look at people and label them and identify them. Not how big they are, rather what's in their hearts. Manhood is not what people judge you by or they think, because their judgment is based on worldly matters. They identify things to be good while actually it is bad. Sahl ibn Sa'd al-Sa'idi, may Allah be pleased with him, narrates that while the Prophet was sitting with one of his companions sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a man passed by. So the Prophet said to this companion of his, "What do you think of this man?" So the man said, "O Prophet of Allah, this one is one of the dignitaries of the Muslim. This person, if he proposes to a woman, her family must give him in marriage. And if he intercedes, they must accept his intercession." The Prophet did not comment alayhi salatu wasalam. Later on, a man who was among the poor from the Muslims passed by. So the Prophet said to him, "What do you think of this one?" And he said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, this man is a su'luk. He's so poor, he doesn't have a thing. If he were to propose for marriage, he would be rejected. If he were to intercede, his intercession would be rejected. And if he were to talk, no one would listen to him." The Prophet ﷺ said, "He is better at the side of Allah from scores of people like him." This poor person, this is real manhood. It's not how fancy your car is. It's not how big your house is. It's not how important your job is. It's not how much you have in your bank account. It is how Allah Azza wa Jal looks at you. We often think that manhood is to be strong, to be able to beat people up, to lift weights. Islam says, no, this is not real manhood. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, the strong man is not the one who can wrestle and fight. The strong man is the one who controls himself at the time of anger. How many times have you seen righteous practicing Muslims fighting in the streets just because someone had an accident with them or someone who insulted them? This righteous practicing Muslim is not a real man, though he prays in the first row, because he's not following the way of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Real manhood is not by shouting. Real manhood is not by suppressing others and imposing your own opinion over everyone else. Real manhood is not by subjugating women. Some people think that if I control my wife and not let her breathe and not honor her and not let her have a happy marriage, I'm a real man. This is not true. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, khayrukum khayrukum li ahlih. The best of you are the best to their women, and I, he refers to himself, am the best to my wives. Some think that manhood is to marry a second wife, third, or a fourth. Akhi, it's not a trophy you put on the shelf. This is a responsibility. Real manhood is how you deal with your wives. Some youngsters at school, their peers laugh and whisper in their ears, real manhood is to smoke. Try this. They think that when you smoke, you become a real man. When you put a tattoo, you become a real man. When you imitate the disbelievers, you become a real man. Wallahi, you don't. Some people think that manhood is in transgressing on other people's rights. If I'm able to cheat, if I'm able to rob, if I'm able to take bribes, if I'm able to deceive others or suppress my employees and fire them and show my control and power, I'm a real man. This is not real manhood. Real manhood is that Allah is pleased with you, is that you're complying with the Sunnah 24 hours, 7 days a week, in your home and outside your home, in the way you treat the rich and the poor, those of authority and those who do not have a job. This is how you be classified. This is how we can classify you. So, did we do our level best to make our children grow up to be real men? To have the courage, the generosity, the wit, the smartness, the compassion, the kindness, the mercy, to be and to grow up as real men? Did we choose for our own daughters for marriage real men who would honor our daughters, who would respect them, who would give them a nice and a good life? Therefore, fear Allah, O servants of Allah, and try your level best to imitate, to mimic, to be like our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the master of all men, who is the best man ever to walk the earth. And if we do that, if we look like him, if we act like him, if we behave like him, wallahi, we will gain success in this dunya and the hereafter.